Now, Chuck Foreman's been averaging a little better than 4 yards a carry in his career. This year, he's averaging a little better than 3. That's a difference of a yard, Jim, so he's not quite the same.
Yes, there's a reason for that, Vinny and George. Chuck Foreman has been injured all year. He's had a bad knee that most people have known about. What people have not known about is that he also has a bad ankle. In talking to Chuck last night, he pointed out that today he's going to take off his knee brace and he's going to go full speed ahead. So we shall see, Vinny.
Indeed we will. We'll also Dakota ready to kick off, and here we go. And the kick is a short one, wobbly and bouncing, and fielded at the 10-yard line and out across the 30, and Detroit will put it in play. 1st and 10 on its own 30. Scott goes left, Blue right, Hill the tight end on the right side. The pass, however, is to King. He's across the 40 to the 46. First down, Detroit. So 1st and 10. Danielson looking left, going deep down the sidelines to Luther Blue. And he is hit and dropped it, and it is recovered by Minnesota. Recovered by Tom Hannon, number 45.
Well, I like the attack that Detroit is using. They're coming right out positive, throwing the ball. Good protection on the button. And he's hit and drops the football. Good call. Alert defense by the Vikings. Now, what Detroit has done in the past is they've made enough mistakes for the Vikings to whip them 5 times in a row.
And Bud Grant has won 19 while losing only 3 to Detroit. Tarkenton has Ricky Young go wide, and Francis, under a rush by Baker, is going to go deep on the first play of the day, and it's caught by Sammy White at the 36-yard line of Detroit.
Here's the way Tarkenton likes to open the ball game. With a pass, reads the defense, goes deep, and there's what we call a delivery sack on Tarkenton.
Now, Mike Burns, I don't know if you can see him in our picture here, was going along. He didn't play the ball. He waited too late. Very bad mistake on the part of Burns.
1st and 10 on the Lion 37. Rashad is wide left. White is in a slot left. Chuck Foreman blocking for Ricky Young, who gets across the 35 to the 34. 2nd and 7 on the 34 of Detroit. And that's Sammy White in motion. Play action fake to Sammy White. Tarkenton deep down the left side to Young, no good. And they double teamed him coming out of the backfield. Charlie Weaver along with Luther Bradley there to defend.
After 3 years with the Chargers, Ricky Young was traded to the Vikings for All-Pro guard Ed White. In 1978, he broke Chuck Foreman's record for receptions by a running back in a single season with 88, and that number led the NFL in 1978. A lot of fans don't know it, but when he retired in 1983, he held the record for most career catches by a running back with 408.
Tarkenton ran this from a motion set, sent the slot man in motion, and sent Ricky Young deep. Didn't fool Detroit. Good coverage.
And, of course, Francis coming off an incredible day last Sunday with his 38 completions in 56 tries. So it is 3rd and 7 from the 34. Tarkenton over the middle, off the hand of Ricky Young.
Looks like a classic case of alligator arms to me.
Well, here's a close-up on Ricky Young running a slant pattern. Actually, the ball's throwing pretty well.
Now it's Luther Blue in motion. Danielson has Bussey along with Gaines, and it is Gaines out across the 25, battling to the 28-yard line. Tom Hannon making the tackle, number 45.
All right, we're looking at Gaines. It's a very good run, in my opinion. The hole is good. You can see it right there. Blocking, you must sustain it. Keep your legs under you. He keeps his knees pumping, drops his shoulders. That is the sign of a good run.
Floyd Peters talking to Dave Purifoy, and of course the last time Purifoy played against Minnesota, he got his name in the paper. He hit Tarkenton head on, and Francis suffered a couple of teeth were shaken loose, and he also had a lot of stitches in his mouth. Carl Ellard, who is banged up, he has a broken left thumb, but he played 3 quarters last week against Philadelphia. A slot left, Leonard Thompson with Freddie Scott in the slot. Dave Hill on the right side. Dexter Bussey bumping into his own man, and the play is stacked up right there.
Now we're looking at the center snap, which is very important. Sometimes we underestimate that because if you have a new center, a lot of times he cannot get the same timing. The ball is then put into the belly of Bussey, who does not reach for it. He does not even look at it. He looks at his hole, but he didn't look at it then because he ran into his own man.
And so Tom Sladany, a marvelous punter, follows in the footsteps of Sinkovich, Larry, and Weaver here. And instead, they're going on a fake. They have nothing to lose, and it's going to be a first down for Detroit. The man who faked it is normally a linebacker, Tony Dakin. Dakin, a two-year man out of Georgia Tech, was in there to block for the punter. Instead, he took off.
Snapped the ball to the fullback. They saw something in the Viking defense, looking at films during the week, that indicated that was open. Now, they've done that in the past. It lets you know that Detroit's fired up.
Well, the information that came to us is that they practiced an extra long last night, and they practiced on this particular play because they want to go all out today.
So Tony Dakin is in a slot now, and now comes in motion to the right. Leonard Thompson is wide left. Danielson holding on to it, winds up and going deep to Blue. No good. In motion comes Freddie Scott. And Danielson wants to go in the air again. Once more, he throws this time to his back, King. And King still on his feet to the 20-yard line, to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Horace King.
Yes, sir. Coach, I know you're going to disagree with me, but I think this is fine offensive football. This is what I call individual effort. Danielson does a good job getting the ball off. Now the play is covered defensively. The runner keeps chugging. He keeps moving. He turns his shoulders. Now watch this cut. Beautiful cut back to the inside. Easy touchdown. Individual effort.
Benny Ricardo is 23 out of 24 points after. Now he's 24 out of 25. Go to second and 10 on the 44. Young with Tucker inside of him on the right side, and it is Foreman, and they just eat him up right at the line of scrimmage. And the last man to hit him is Al Baker, number 60, who is celebrating his 23rd birthday today. This big rookie out of Colorado State, 6'6", 260, and they're saying he has great chance of being the defensive rookie lineman of the year. He's outstanding.
Al Bubba Baker did win the Defensive Rookie of the Year award on the basis of his NFL-leading 23 sacks. He also made the Pro Bowl and first-team All-Pro. In his first 3 years, he had an amazing 56.5 sacks.
And Tarkinen with only Foreman releasing now. Tarkinen going deep. No good. The pass intended for Rashad. Well, the Lions have inches to go for a first down. It is second and inches on their own 43. Out of the eye. Gaines is in there with Bussey. And it'll be Bussey with Gaines out in front. What a block by Gaines. And that opened the door. He's across the 40.
Offensive line does a great job on this. The blocking is beautiful. Now watch King out there. Good block. Bussey makes a great move through there. Cuts back to the middle. His eyes are open. Following his blockers. They're out in front of him.
Lawrence Gaines throwing a great block on Fred McNeil. Now you have Luther Blue in motion to the right. Here comes Horace King looking like he's going to pass. And he ducks under two men and gets to the 40. And there Hannon puts a necktie on him and twists him back. He just did get away from Mulaney and Sutherland. 3rd and 7 on the 34. Danielson, who's been successful in the air, has Freddie Scott all alone. And Scott goes to the Viking 6-yard line. Two tight ends, Hill and Gay, and Luther Blue in motion coming off a wing. He's picked up by Wise. The pass is going in the corner. Touchdown to Leonard Thompson. Leonard Thompson all alone. Benny Ricardo trying to make it 14-0 Detroit. A shocker so far. It's up. It's good.
We were talking about Danielson being ready. Now watch this throw. It was absolutely perfect. It could have been intercepted if he hesitated just a slight bit. But it is thrown perfectly, just out of the reach of the defensive man, just in the corner.
And Minnesota is shocked here in Detroit as the Lions have jumped out to a 14-0 lead before a sellout crowd. It'll be Kevin Miller on his 14 to the 20 and buried right there. What a hit by Bill Gay, number 83, a tight end on offense. Gay is 6'5", 255, a rookie out of USC. He was a second-round draft choice by Denver. And watch Gay drill Kevin Miller here. Whammo.
William Gay played with the Lions from 1978 through 1987. He didn't catch a pass as a tight end during his 1978 rookie season, and the Lions converted him to a defensive lineman the following year. He ended up with 60 career sacks.
Oh, what a hit.
Yes. This is what Monty Clark has instilled in this young Detroit team.
3rd and 5 on the 30. White is inside Rashad in a slot left. Tarkinen going out to the left and throws behind Chuck Foreman.
How about a beer?
Beer? I want something special.
Bull.
Bull?
Yes, sir, the Slits Malt Liquor Bull.
Hey, Spike, look at that bottle.
It's a special premium brew that's in a class by itself.
Wow, what taste. 99 bottles of Bull on the wall.
If you want a change of pace with a big bold taste, don't say beer, say Bull. Bull, the Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull.
Well, the reason that Fran Tarkenton can have records is because he knows exactly where he's going to throw. He knows where everybody's at. He rifles the ball to Sammy White. He means business now. White does something here that's a little shaky. He comes back, but he gets back for the extra 2 yards that he gave up.
And there's the note on that pass. Tarkinen after some more now. Floating one to Bob Tucker, the tight end, and he's across the 40, dropped to the 41.
Jim, speaking of records, in my opinion, all records made from here on in should be in a different classification. You have 12 game records, 14 game records, 16 season game records.
What George Allen said makes sense, but they haven't done it. It's a shame because a lot of players whose records were supposedly broken had averages per game that were better than the new records, so they've been deprived of a lot of notoriety over the years.
Rashad is wide left, White in a slot. Foreman goes out, and the pass is to Foreman as he crosses midfield. 3rd and 8 on the Detroit 43. Rashad is wide right, Sammy White in a slot. Tucker was wide left. The pass is to Foreman, and Foreman is boxed in by Williams and Bradley. 1st and 10 on the Detroit 35. In motion goes Ricky Young. Tarkinen looking left, setting up a screen for Young. Foreman trying to throw a block, but he missed it, and Charlie Weaver makes the tackle. Foreman, the running back, actually was faked out by the linebacker Charlie Weaver, number 59, and Foreman is a most frustrated man when he threw a block and hit nothing but air.
Well, Vinny, the reason that Foreman missed that block was because Ricky Young was coming back to the inside and then made the outside move. I think we'll be able to see it over here. Now, Young gets the ball that starts inside. He goes back outside. And when he goes back outside, he hesitates and makes it very difficult for the blocker to complete the block.
Out of the eye, Tarkinen rolling right. Tarkinen to Robert Miller, and Robert Miller is run out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
And Jim, there's the first down, play action, 3 or 4 yard pass, thrown to the backs, rolling out to buy time, to read the defense, no thought of running.
Now watch Robert Miller go in here. I don't know why he casually just went on out of bounds.
Yeah.
I do not
Ricky Young,
understand.
the running backs. Craig is an extra tight end, and it's Robert Miller in there. Hill is back in at tight end on the left side. Danielson looking down the middle and throws. It is complete to his big tight end, David Hill, for a first down at the Viking 33-yard line.
Now, the thing here is Danielson has the time to throw.
On the 33.
There's also a delivery sack. Watch him get hit just as he releases the ball.
Paul
Ball
Krause
crossed.
replacing Tom Hannon. And for Krause, number 22, keep your eye on him. He is 1 interception shy of the interception record. Krause has 78 in his career. Emlyn Tunnell set the record with 79. 1st and 20 from the 43 of Minnesota. Hill, the tight end on the left side. King and Kane are the running backs. Blue in a slot inside Scott. Danielson chased by Seaman. A screen to Kane to the 30. Kane to the 25, to the 20. Still on his feet. First down at the Viking 17-yard line.
What happened here is that the Lions ran the best possible play against what the Vikings tried to do. They dogged Seaman When you lose your middle linebacker on a screen, now you have lost your cutback man. It was a tremendous call against that particular defense.
To explain the delay on the far side of the field, veteran Paul Krause, who went in to replace Tom Hannon, who was injured. Krause is injured on that play, and he is down.
First play he was in.
Krause being ministered to. Watch this now as Kane is carrying the ball. Up in front is number 63, Donnie Hickman. And as Krause goes down with Hickman, Kane is still on his feet, and evidently that's when Krause was hurt. Donnie Hickman is 260 pounds. Krause is 205.
And he's been around a long time, Vinny. I played against him myself, and I've been out of football an awful long time.
15 years out of Iowa.
He's been a great safety. Came up with the Redskins.
1st and 10 on the 17. Tom Hannon is back in there on the defense. Danielson deep into the end zone to Thompson. Woo! Touchdown! Leonard Thompson beat Nate Wright. The snap, the spot, the kick, it's good. And with 2 minutes and 17 seconds to go to the half, a surprise. The Detroit Lions 21, the Minnesota Vikings 7. And let's watch Leonard Thompson beat Nate Wright again.
Danielson is showing so much authority. Seems to be so confident in this ball game because he has the protection.
Receiver ball that backs out, throwing to Foreman, off his hand, picked up by Charlie Weaver. Weaver laterals the ball to Hunter, and Hunter's going backwards. And Hunter finally gives the ball to Allen, and Allen is dropped at the 45-yard line. 1:46 to the half. 21-7 in favor of Detroit. 1st and 10 on the Viking 45, and Danielson is going for broke. Touchdown, Leonard Thompson again. Oh, doctor, what a play. They're going wild in Detroit. Take another look. The old story hit him hard right after a bitter play.
What he did, he threw it as far as he could. Thompson ran a go pattern. The ball was right there.
Gary Danielson is now 14 for 16, 253 yards, 4 touchdowns, all in the first half. Ricardo kicks. It is good.
Hey, Jane, earlier this week you were down to see a friend of mine, Tom Henderson of the Dallas Cowboys.
You know, he's got to be one of the craziest outside linebackers in the league. Probably one of the greatest, too. Matter of fact, he said that you no longer have to call him Tom. You have to call him Thomas. A lot of people know that.
Why do I have to call him Thomas and not Tom?
Well, you know, he's got one niece, and he said he does not want his niece growing up calling him Uncle Tom.
Fair enough. So it is indeed Thomas Henderson from now on.
He said the reason Dallas was in a slump is because he was in a cast.
All right, look forward to that interview tomorrow. You know, pro scouts are calling this the year of the running back as far as the colleges are concerned. 20 quality running backs are coming into the NFL next year. Tomorrow, we're going to preview who the top choices might be. But let's take a look at one player you might not have heard much about. O.J. Anderson of the University of Miami. 6'2", 211, and when he gets down to the 40, he'll cover it in 4.5.
Tarkenton hasn't been featuring Foreman in the first half of this game. He's coming back with him now. There's a beautiful hole there. Looks like a little cross blocking there. Foreman makes a good cut. Comes in. You can see that he's running pretty good, although he's dragging the right leg a little bit. Good run by Foreman.
1st and 10 on the Viking 44. We have an injury report in a moment. Tarkenton looking to the left side, throwing to Ahmad Rashad, and out of bounds he goes with Chuck Foreman there, and that's a first down at the 45. Injury report on Paul Krause. He suffered a concussion. He is still in the Minnesota dressing room. White and Rashad go left. Tucker right. It's a draw out of Foreman, and O'Neal read it and buried him right there. Ed O'Neal out of Penn State, number 55.
The Ed White trade hurt the Vikings' rushing attack a lot. Couple that with the fact that Hall of Famers Ron Yeary was getting on in age. He was 32 years old, and Mick Tingelhoff was 38. The offensive line had definitely seen its stronger days. After 3 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons, Foreman ran for only 749 yards in 1978 with an extremely low 3.2 yards per carry.
2nd and 9 on the 44. Tucker is wide right. Slot left. White is inside Rashad. Tarkenton looking left, and he's got Robert Miller. First down. He's at the 30-yard line, and the Lions finally bring him down at about the 27. First down for Minnesota. They're on a roll. Craig, a tight end on the right side. Robert Miller and Ricky Young. Young fumbles. Picks it up, and he goes out of bounds.
Well, when we show you hands and talk about how important it is, now watch that handoff. Ricky Young has it, but he doesn't put it away in time. He drops the ball. This is something that you have to go over and over, but he has good hands because he caught it on a good bounce, Coach.
Yeah, he got a basketball bounce. He might not have had that on a grass field.
That's exactly right.
Robert Miller is in a slot left. Tarkenton going deep. This time he has Kevin Miller. Kevin Miller for the touchdown.
If we can see it, he jams Miller, but then lets him go, doesn't cover him.
Tell you what's incredible, that's the first pass he's caught this year. And it's a 35-yard touchdown to Kevin Miller, rookie out of Louisville.
This is a blown assignment.
A big play, a big play. And
Dan Meyer kicked it through, so it is 28-14. Luther Blue wide left, Leonard Thompson wide right, David Hill the tight end on the left side. The backs are King and Bussey. Second man is Dexter Bussey to the 40-yard line. Wise is chasing him. Wise has him and drags him down from behind at the 37-yard line of Minnesota.
Well, as we look at this, Danielson is continuing his assault. He's like Wild Bill Hickok. He's loading it up, firing. The man is wide open. Scott is wide open. Now watch this. Scott would normally go out of bounds.
they put the pressure on him. He threw the ball behind the receiver. A nice play by Bobby Bryant. A big play.
That for Bryant, his 7th interception this year. So the Vikings are still alive, although they've got a long way to go. 7:28 to go in the third quarter, 28-14 Detroit.
Well, in my opinion, Coach, I felt that he could have been interfered with. There was contact before he actually got the ball, but I guess the referee said that both men are able to go for the ball when it's in the air.
Ken Calicut almost late getting on the field. Greg Coleman having to punt out of his end zone and gets it away. Anthony Leonard will make the reception on his own 42, running behind Gay's block. He jumps across the 30 and goes to the 26 where Matt Blair brought him down. Danielson gonna crank it up and go down the middle, and it's dropped. Horace King was the intended receiver, couldn't hold on to it. Right there with him was veteran Wally Hilgenberg. Hilgenberg, indeed a veteran, 15 years out of Iowa.
You know, Vinny, the reason it's very difficult to hold on to a ball going across the center is because you expose your ribs. When you expose your ribs, you can really be hurt because you're totally open.
Horace King with that ball slightly behind him. He didn't lead him at all. Slightly off his right hip. The spot will be at the 20, so it's a 30-yard field goal out of a hold by Gary Danielson. The snap, the hold, the kick. Good. Ricardo makes it 31 for Detroit, 14 for Minnesota. 2nd and 10 on the 34. Tarkenton looking to his left and throwing to Rashad, and Rashad made a remarkable catch at the 44-yard line, and I think that's just enough for the first down.
Well, here's a remarkable catch by Rashad, and this is what he has to do the second half. He has to come up with some big plays to get back in this ball game. Look at that. Kept his feet in and reached out over the sidelines.
And also, Coach, the pass protection here was very good. Although Tarkenton knew where he's going to throw, but they picked up Baker real well, and he's probably the most potent rusher on that team, of course.
Watch the hang time, how long it hangs, and it doesn't. He angles for the sideline, and Leonard takes it, fumbles it, but it's recovered by Walt Williams, and he is dropped at the 28-yard line by Studwell. And Walt Williams, a defensive back, alertly pouncing on that muff by Anthony Leonard.
That was a base hit to center field. Another line drive.
Leonard did not catch that ball properly. He had his hands in the wrong position.
The Viking defense, Vinny, has to come up with a big play to get back in this ball game.
Talking about being in the air, Detroit is sky high.
Gary Danielson was also sky high as he had a career day, completing 26 of 33 passes for 352 yards and 5 touchdowns without being sacked.
King and Bussey are behind Danielson, and it'll be Dexter Bussey to the 35, to the 40, hit by Bobby Bryant and dragged down by Hannon. First down at the Lion 47-yard line.
Well, as we look at this offensively, because we could look at it as great offensive play, a bad defensive play. Dexter Bussey goes in, watches his blocking closely, jumps through a split, breaks the arm tackle, breaks back behind the block. He's one-on-one now. He decides to drop his shoulder, goes forward. Good running. Bussey looks like he's an all-pro today, Coach.
Scott on the right side, Hill on the left. Blue is a wide receiver to the left side. In motion goes Rick Kane. Lawrence Gaines, a play-action fake, and Danielson firing under a rush. Great catch by Luther Blue, and he was belted by Bryant, and Danielson wouldn't know about it because he was decked.
Now, you're always talking about the delivery sacks, Coach. Now, watch what happens after Danielson releases this well-thrown ball. Boom.
Yeah.
There's another boom.
Rich Kane is in there along with Horace King. Both backs released. The pass over the middle to Luther Blue. What a collision with Tom Hannon. He's dropped on the 10. Hannon slowly getting up, and so is Luther Blue. Wow, you could hear that across the country. Blue is only 180. Hannon is 193. What a gutsy catch, Jim Brown.
Oh, yes. I'm really in awe of Danielson today. I mean, he is cocking it up and firing out there, and he's firing across the middle, and when a guy like Luther Blue catches the ball like that and holds on to it, they've got me, Coach.
Freddie Scott wide left, Blue in a slot left, Hill the tight end on the right side. Danielson looking to the right side, and it's a touchdown to Horace King.
There's a penalty on it.
But a flag on the play.
Number 27 defense.
It's against Minnesota, so it's touchdown, Horace King.
Jerry Markbright was an NFL referee for 23 seasons, 11 seasons in the Big Ten Conference, and he had 25 NFL postseason assignments.
As George Allen said, Danielson goes back. The protection is great. He corks it out, throws it to the outside, and as Coach Allen said, the man is not being covered closely enough.
Washington has 7 minutes and 59 seconds left as he goes deep to Bob Tucker at the 40. And the big tight end is brought down at the 31-yard line. He sends Foreman as a wide receiver along with Ricky Young. Rashad and White go wide left. And he's cranking up for Foreman. And he had it get through his hands with a little bit of help from Mike Burns. And I think Foreman felt he was interfered with.
You know, Tarkington in Minnesota has had, Jim, 2 or 3, maybe 4 drop balls, situations like that normally they'd catch him. Foreman's a good receiver.
Well, that looked like face guarding to me, Coach.
White and Rashad, slot left. And it's a quick out, and it's intercepted by Luther Bradley. He's going to go all the way. Luther Bradley is going to go for broke.
So what did you think of Jim Brown's commentary? Thank you for watching.